I'm using my new wisdom tooth as a nut cracking thing. It's a whole new way to chew for me. It's a sharp ass tooth. I wanted to talk about besides that our brains are being sucked out of our fucking head by EMF waves. I love Mother Nature. I love where I am. I'm actually I'm a channeler. I channel. Everybody is, if you really want to think about it. I mean, what is a channel? Look at these words. A channel. You have a lot of channels on your TV set. You actually have a channel available to you. I'm a channel, babe, on YouTube. I'm gonna dial me in on what I wanted to talk about here. Oh, I know this about me because I've spent enough time. And you wouldn't know this. In real life. I'm a super conscious being. It's not a big deal. It's like a natural state or something, if you ask me. What that means to me is like, it's hard to explain, but let's take water, for example, the nature of being a super conscious being. Water, when you pour it onto a surface, it tends to want to go to the lowest point, and it's not going to miss it. It's going to hit the lowest point. So that the key word is not going to miss it. Not going to miss it. Not going to miss things. Not going to miss important things, let's just say. If there's an information field we need to get going on, and there's a saying that a friend used to say, we don't have to remember important things. We don't have to remember important things. And then that kind of goes along with my great-grandpa, who used to say, well, if you can't remember what you were going to say or what you were going to do, it must not have been important. But anyway, I don't know if that made sense or not, but it sounds like a contradiction, but I don't think so if you really think about it. Anyway, getting back into being a super conscious being. And this is how I'm able to stay alone. I'm not living in fear because of that. I stay alone a lot. I've got to pick these weeds up here as a super conscious being. A little bit much, but hey, the roses are going to be starting to bloom here. It seems like a little late or something. I don't know, but I'm not going to cut it until after the rose bushes are bloomed, and then I'll cut and make a pathway wider up the driveway. But anyway, super conscious being. I'm trying to tell you about. Okay, so here's how. It's an insult. Okay, I'm not a thinker. I don't use the thinking mind at all. You guys that are stuck in your minds and whatever you're drawing from there is non-existential in reality, probably just too people-oriented right there, mind-oriented, really, because what are people but just minds that are imagining who they are, and you too. Anyway, super conscious being. You guys, it doesn't mean that okay, I would love to live in a fucking glass pyramid or whatever, and be just, all of the things I can think of, like, okay, can I grow these why am I in the place that there isn't a garden? All of a sudden, if I'm a super conscious being, boy, I'm sure not in the right place, am I? And the answer is yes. Nail on the head there. Of course you're not in the right place. You just woke up, and are you going to be able to fucking manage this place? No. You don't manage this place, you manage yourself. So I'm managing myself alone here. I'm figuring out, oh, well, we really don't need much, but our day, right? Just let's have this day of beauty of, really, it's our breath. And then our daily bread. What's that? What the fuck are we eating? What are we eating? Can we make those two things, like, kind of lock that down? See, the problem with the mind is they think too much and they think, well, there's certainly nothing going on. It's like, yeah, there isn't ever anything going on with the mind, because the mind can't have reality. Okay, slap that out of the way. Let's get back into super conscious being and just, okay, what are we doing here? Nothing. Nobody knows how to do anything anymore. As far as how to do anything anymore, like, are we building pyramids? What are we doing? Are we even building anything? Is it just a stencil? Yes. We've forgotten that fucking. So what's my point? Super conscious being. It's never gonna be predictable to you. It's nothing that you can say, well, oh yeah, this is the heavenly thing. No, come on, we are struggling here. Okay, so here's my point of this whole fucking story. Is it still on? Good. Minute number 6. Okay, so I'm a really good detective. If you knew me, if you were reading some of my writings over about the last, especially 8 years, you would gather, without throwing any of the babies out with the bathwater, some of those babies, you would know it takes a really penetrating mind, like the mind of a scientist or a detective. That's the truth. If you do my astrology, you will say, well, this person has detective type a mind, very intuitive, and just, you can't really get much past me. Come on, I'm a super conscious musician. Anyway, playing in real time. I play my music, babe. I'll play your music. Right now. Do you know your song? Anyway, same with me, Include me in all that, baby. Anyway, here we go. Look, super conscious being. Having a conversation. Okay, so of course, I'm trying to investigate who owns the market over there. Who's the owner of the market? That's where I'm at. I'm a super conscious being. I'm like water. I'm going to go to the lowest point, and the fucking next thing you figure out is, who is the boss of these other bossy people? Do you want to get to the boss's bosses? The kind of bullshit. And so then, of course so. And so it's not a coincidence that I see a worker at another area at the thrift store, and I talk to her, and she tells me a little bit more about, there's another lawsuit that somebody else is opening up on them. And then, of course, it's the first thing I asked her. It's like, well, who is their bosses? Who is the manager's bosses? Of course she doesn't know. She just knows there's many bosses there, but they have bosses. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to say any names, but there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of different possibilities of managers. What if they are as managers, but they have bosses? And see, that's the first thing I asked her. Like, well, because I'm there with I'm a fucking detective, and it's like, you get to the water's going to the lowest point, and you want to get that information that maybe it's been left out. Of course, who's the main thing? I'm still trying to figure out who owns the fairway. What mailing address do I send them my documents in? And what name is these people? Who can I call and talk to them and say, well, tell them my stupid little story, which is breaking down to just a few sentences. It's like, listen to this stupid story. Last year this happened, and now this year I'm being pinched off. Wow. Anyway, super conscious being. Are you conscious that you're rambling on? Yes, I am. I'm conscious that everybody is getting all fucking weirded out. Their bodies are being attacked. Their minds are, they think that they are their minds, and they think that they are their bodies. It's like, that's not really, we came here to get into that, but we're going to get out of it. We're going to get out of it, babe. Don't hang on to it too much. Anyway, especially the mind. Oh my God. Anyway, getting back to a super conscious being. I already asked the woman, and I knew that already. Okay, so now I have these other people coming into my life, and I'm talking to them about this. Okay, this is just a standard narcissist thing that you'll come up with. Here's a difference of the kind of the people that I've been dealing with. This is the truth, okay? These one people, I'm pretty sure they energetically hung up on me because, I'm trying to tell them about my stupid thing with the market, and then getting into how I saw this woman. All I didn't do was mention how that, yeah, I asked them who was owning the market, but she says, and I get this is just an example that everybody tends to do. Like, I couldn't see it. And for some reason, it fucking bugs me. Because of the way, the air that they took on. She says, well, why didn't you just ask her who owns it? That was the person right there. Go back there and ask her. And it's like, it was so natural in me that that was the first thing I asked her. That I didn't even remember that I had done that. I was just listening to her. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. I should go back there. You know what I mean? I just kind of just went there. But the truth is, it's like, that was the first thing I fucking made sure that was whipped out. And of course they don't know. You try to figure out who's the boss of the boss. Fucking pyramid, fucking ghostly gaslighting fucking organizations that are running a racket across the board. More and more they're switching hands, or whatever happens is regulations go towards disrespecting the population in many ways. I mean, what are they selling? What kind of products are regulated to their fucking poisons? Excuse me. You know, let's get back into being a super conscious person. I mean, I don't absorb any of that. I just let it go. It's like, yeah, be careful, man. I just got some Parmesan cheese from the place. It's like, yeah, right. You're not giving away fucking Parmesan cheese. I squeezed the container. It's got a hole in it. I'm supposed to open that up and eat it like it's safe for me? No. I fucking threw it out. Some of it I'm getting into my chickens. And watch them. Let's see what happens. I mean, we had I don't know. There's a combination of stuff going on here. You know, it's bad enough that we had all that Pisces and Taurus and shit going on. It's like, God, can we get a physical fucking embodiment here going? That was tough. And now it's a new call for everybody. Really astrologically worried about some people. The Uranus transit, how it's affecting them directly. For me, it's my moon. And for other people, it's their physical body. You know, it's emotionality. It's our physical body. It's, I'm sorry, Rupa, I'm not here to scare you. He was hit by a hawk on his neck. He's got some battle scars. And so, you know, I know about his record. Astrologically, I do, because he has a grand cross. No, he didn't flap his wings for no reason right there. And look, he's got smihots. That's Jesus-ika. Jesus-ika. She says, I don't know about all this talk. If you can just whip out some fucking food, that's fine with me. Uh-oh. Shite. Anyway, talking about super conscious being. I mean, come on, we're not, what does that mean? Oh, you know, like somebody, they're going to start gaslighting the scene. All that we'll notice is that, well, you would like to gaslight the scene now. How many times are you going to gaslight the scene to where, you know what our job is to just ignore that. When we see that there's a gaslighter there that just, you know, you're standing there and they literally say, that's a nice brick wall there and it's really a wooden shack. Just fucking ignore it. It really depends. I mean, you're not going to, you do it anyway. Probably most of the time I do. If you're not emotionally invested in them at all, you don't know them at all, you can just ignore it. You can ignore it, and then every once in a while play a game with them and say, yeah, and the teapots ran away with the spoon over the moon. You know, but the problem with that, babes, is because their mind is the only thing that exists in reality, and especially you have to remember that. Remember this, that you're crazy. You're crazy, because why did you just come up with the dish ran away with this? Nobody's doing that, Shauna. It's like, no, actually, you're planting stuff everywhere, and any fucking time, any way that you break down for the gaslighter narcissist, they won. You know, whatever you do, they won. That's why you just gotta ignore it. Flat fucking ignore it, man. And don't obligate to yourself to their trip. Because all they want is attention. Really what it is, it's an energy grab. It really is. I talk about that, how that there's the raw human energy that has a conscience for one, and it really wants to know the truth. I mean, unfortunately, them gaslighter narcissists love when you, all of a sudden you want to hear it like, well, wasn't it wasn't it a wooden shack instead of a brick wall? And like, and you just want to get back to them like 3 days later. They know that. They're like, I bet you they're still lamenting on that one little detail. Fucking drop it and get rid of them. Just say, I have no obligation to your fucking flaky motherfucking ass, that you have basically an energy deficit problem. That, and now I'm sorry, but I can't go into that deep with you as far as this little game you're playing. I'm sure there's somebody else there that you can plug into, but it's not as fun because they don't put up with it in a certain way that, you know, a lot of times these people are living abused lives. The reason to gaslight is many reasons. A lot of them are just trying to get, like I said, get attention, get a hold of reality. You know, they don't know how to just be. They don't have anybody there to be anything, so they'd have to stir it up, man. They'll fucking ruin your life with that shit. Let me tell you right now. Fucked.